Good morning, this is Paul. Something a little bit different today. Something with two wheels rather than the usual four. So it's not something we've been involved with for a little while, bikes, but this is a one owner, 67 plated Triumph Bonneville T120, which has been converted into a cafe racer by Down and Out. It's done just over 2,240 miles. It's had 6 services from new, so it's got a lovely service history. So it's one owner. It was converted within the first week of ownership with the person who bought it from new, and I'd like to show you around. So as I say, it's not exactly filling up the screen, but it's a very pretty little thing. That's not a little thing; it's huge. It's got a great big engine in it. But I haven't had a bike for sale for a little while, and this one is just fabulous. As I say, it's a T120, so it looks, in its standard guise, it looks very much like a standard sort of thing that you would expect from Triumph. But this has been breathed on by Down and Out. It's just come in. I only made it live last week. I hadn't done a formal video for it yet, but here we are. So we have a nice tan seat with these nice brass studs, nicely stitched all the way around. A small number plate. Now we've got all the original parts for this bike to return it back to the way it was when it came out of the factory. There are 2 sets of number plates. There's a number plate holder, which is for a slightly bigger plate than that. The original exhausts are all there. As you can see, those exhausts, they're nicely lagged for heat. The silencers are quite small, so I'll do a cold start in a minute, but it definitely sounds fruity. It sounds like, I wouldn't say it's overly loud, but it'll certainly be louder than it would have been when it first came out of the factory. I love these period tires. They're really retro. If I just zoom in on all the nuts and bolts, you've got these adjustable suspension springs and dampers. You can see it's been nicely looked after, so there hasn't been kind of left out in the rain, so you don't have lots of white powder around the aluminium sections. There's no signs of corrosion on any of the nuts and bolts or the frame or anything like that. We've got the original pegs as well. There's a little sort of anomaly in the paintwork there, but everything you can see here, there's no corrosion present on any of these aluminium sections. The mirrors situated below the handlebar gripper, you can see. Very cool. And then the headlamp, main headlamp here. You see there's a few little flies and bits and pieces. I'm sure that will come off. Do a bit of clean behind there. In fact, they do. You can see there's 2 little screws there. So it hasn't gone through a full valet procedure, but to be fair, where it's come from, it's been very nicely kept anyway. Serviced in 2018, 19, 21, 22, 23 and 24. That's 6 services and 2,200 miles. But that's really retro, that's really cool. That's something that I could quite see myself riding throughout the summer. So I'll turn the ignition on. I'm showing now that we're in neutral. So clutch and cold start. That's a cold start with no throttle. First time it's been started today. I'll let it tick over for a minute. That sounds good. That sounds very good. I'll give it a little bit of a flip of throttle in a second, just to get a little bit of temperature coming to the cylinders. You can see here the mileage reading is 2241. Now the ABS light flashes until I think you go over 6 miles an hour and then it goes off. 125 miles in the range. It's probably got more than that. We've started and stopped it a couple of times. Everything now on the headset is all looking good. Now if I just give it a little bit of a that does sound rather cool. Turn that right off. There we go. So a very cool looking, very cool sounding bike. If you find that you own a bike like that and decide you'd like to return to original, then we do have the original parts. As I said, I've got some photos of those, which I'll put on the website. But that is a very interesting bike. Very interesting. I bet that's a hell of a lot of fun to ride. So I hope you like the bike. I hope you like the video and find the video useful. If you'd like to know more about the bike, please visit our website, www.bramshawebv.com. Drop us an email or a text or a WhatsApp, or pick up the phone and speak to us. We'd love to talk to you about it. Thanks for watching.